That being said, it is your turn to pick a challenge for Date Night Roulette. Mm-hmm. Yes. What was that?
I don't really know what I can use the mood for.
Well, figure it out.
Hey, I'll try.
How was your day until then?
No, just
Ye?
Woke up, went to work, and now not at work.
Ye. I had like 20 kids today, and that's it at work today.
How many do you usually have?
On Fridays, a little over 30.
So this was a step down.
Huh?
So this was a step down.
Yeah, because next week we have off, so a lot of the kids were out for vacation and such already. So.
This is a little specific. I guess a horror movie that has to do with the Salem witch trials that we haven't already watched.
A horror movie that has to do with the Salem witch trials. I'm sure there are plenty of those, but I'm not sure what they are. So let's find out. It has to be specifically about the Salem witch trials, or can it be like inspired by them?
Inspired works fine. I think otherwise your selection's going to be very, very slow.
Probably. If it has to.
Horror movies give reference to the Salem witch trials, but a lot of them don't. There's not a lot that make like exact use of Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
Throwing you a lifeline.
Alright, let's see. And you said it has to be a horror movie.
I will accept documentary as well.
Okay. Shame we can't use Fear Street. Shame we can't use Fear Street. Because we've already seen those.
I am down for rewatching them, but they do not count for this challenge.
Fair.
I can't remember. Was it like you and I that both sat down and like marathon watched Hellraiser, or was that like a thing that I just did on my own?
I think that's the thing you did on your own, because I've only ever seen the first two Hellraisers, plus the remake.
Probably for the best. They do not get better.
I've heard they get actively worse.
They do.
Delightful. This could be an option.
Not in a good way, but they do. By like the third one, they had sort of removed the dude who made the novels that the movies were based on from the movies, I guess, because he was doing something else. So they turned it into more of like your standard slasher than what the first two movies were about. So they Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, just Xenobites.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's what the new production company that picked up the rights to the movie wanted, even though everyone on board was like, brother, no. So they just got progressively more and more into the slasher genre instead of just what the first two were cooking. And then we got the remake, which is much more closely aligned with the original situation.
I have two potential options for this one. And the choice between them depends, because... Okay, so the two potential options, I have The Autopsy of Jane Doe or The Lords of Salem. But The Lords of Salem I'm already using for my 100 Years of Horror challenge, so I'm definitely going to watch it eventually. So the question is, do I just pick that for this then and watch it sooner? Or do I just go with Autopsy of Jane Doe? And the answer depends on, is there any other horror movie released in 2012 that I can watch instead of Lords of Salem for the 100 Years of Horror challenge? The answer is I have no idea. That's what I'm looking through now. Because it can't be from America, because I already have too many American films on that list. Ooh, this looks like a fun movie. But well, I could go with a Takashi Miike film. This is an option. What is this? Actually, I think I already have 10 Japanese films on the list too. No, I don't. I only have 8. This movie looks awful. We're definitely not going with this one. I think we might just go with Autopsy of Jane Doe. Because according to Wikipedia, that's about the Salem witch trials. I think the titular Jane Doe is a witch. Wikipedia might have just spoiled the movie for me, but...
It did.
Oh, that was delightful. Oh well. Might as well watch that one then. We'll go with Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Very good.
Yeah. Just so I don't have to try and figure out what movie to replace Lords of Salem with on my 100 Years of Horror challenge. That's too much work. Yeah. So yeah, Autopsy of Jane Doe it is. I forgot what we're watching today. Besides,
I was just about to ask you, so...
today there's obviously date night movie, which is the Youngblood Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then the so we're watching the Youngblood Chronicles for Date Night Roulette, and then for after that we're gonna watch Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
That is like the perfect combination, and it's kind of sad that I don't think I'll be able to stick around and watch both of them.
Well, Youngblood Chronicles is not even an hour long, babe. What time do you go to sleep tonight?
Like 1, I think.
Okay, you'll be around for it.
Yeah, very good. That's like one of my favorite movies. live action aside.
Yeah, it's one of the only movies on my top 100 horror films list that I have not reviewed. So, need to watch it to review it. Yeah, it's the highest ranked film on my top 100 horror films I've never reviewed. So, time to re-watch it. And then next week we're gonna watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Boy.
Week after that is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's only 8 films left on my top 100 that I haven't reviewed. We got Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Incredible Shrinking Man, Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 Zack Snyder one, Annihilation, Friday the 13th, and The Fly, the 1958 one. I've never seen the Cronenberg one. I've heard it's really good though.